Hi, Fergal here, and welcome to A Frame of Mind. It's day 7 of the World Championship. Firstly, let's have a look at yesterday's results. There was an upset when Sean Murphy lost 10-9 to Si Jiahui. Another upset was Robert Milkins coming back from 7-2 down to beat Joe Perry 10-9, but as predicted, eventually Mark Selby beat Matthew Selt 10-8. Two other matches that started yesterday was Luca Purcell and Mark Williams, which is 4-all, and Mark Allen playing a lot more fluent and scoring heavy. He leads Stuart Bingham 5-3. Two more last 16 matches start today. Jack Jones takes on Neil Robertson, and then the eagerly anticipated clash between Ronnie O'Sullivan and Hossein Vafaei. My good friend and great player Michael Judge came here yesterday and we discussed both matches. So Mick, we're looking at the last 16. What have you made of the tournament so far?
Yeah, the standard's been unbelievable so far. Everyone's flying as usual. Like Neil Robertson played incredible there.
Yeah, brilliant.
Karen Wilson yesterday was phenomenal, 147. So he's absolutely over the moon to hit one of them at the Crucible is, what we'd all dream of when we were kids, So, yeah, so far so good. Some great matches. There's a nice little needle match coming up with Ronnie and Hossein, which I can't wait to have a look at that. So that'll be interesting to see what way that one goes.
Yeah, exactly. That's the first one. That's the top of the draw. And you wonder, Hossein's either brave or stupid, because Ronnie, to be fair, had a little bit of a joke saying he said I should retire, but nothing to respond. So then you think, would Hossein respond? Then of course he said, no, Ronnie is a nice guy when he's asleep. And it's just all kicked off from there.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's, Ronnie is Ronnie. We all know what Ronnie's like, But Hossein seems to have taken a bit personal now, so he's kind of thrown down the gauntlet, which, it could come back to, to haunt him, but...
Because I'm not sure what exactly did Ronnie say. Did he say anything personal, or he just took the general slagging as personal?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think he's just, he's probably... Listen, no, I like Ronnie. I've always got on well with Ronnie, He's a bit like Marmite, though, people do love him and people do hate him,
Yeah.
But I think Hossein is probably saying... He's probably saying what a lot of people do think about Ronnie, but don't have the kahoonies to say,
Exactly.
So fair play to him in one way. But it'll be interesting to see what way it goes, giving Ronnie the hope. I remember a great player, Eugene Hughes, who used to practice in his club years ago, he said to me, Mick, he said, never give a player an extra incentive to want to beat you, which Hossein has done now with the greatest of all time. So, but still, listen, it'll be interesting to see what way it goes, It'll be fascinating to watch.
Yeah, actually Eugene gave me that same advice as well. But Hossein, he has put himself under a lot of pressure with it, because before Ronnie was favoured anyway, but he's given it the big build up. So you need even if he runs him close, it's still you lost.
Yeah. Listen. As I said, we'll find out whether it was the right thing to do or not by the result. But you've got to say fair play to Hossein as well for throwing down the gauntlet.
Yeah.
In one way, maybe he's looked back at last time this happened. Ronnie had a bit of needle with Ali Carter, and Ali Carter actually beat him. So maybe he's saying his thought, well, this might be a way to get under his skin and might give me a better chance. So,
and if you that's a very good point, because you actually look at Ronnie over the years, some of the players he struggled with, the likes of the Dot and Nedton and Marquis, the big thing was they wouldn't be bullied by him, and Ronnie loves to bully, and so Hossein coming back, it could possibly get under Ronnie's skin. I think definitely if Hossein starts well and goes ahead, then I think you might see Ronnie, because again, Ronnie's barge, if Ronnie had been winning handily against Carter, he'd have never barged him, but he was getting under something. He needed something just to change it. But
I think a good point. I think whoever gets off to the better start will probably more likely win the match in my eyes, because they'll go from, they'll get better and better, and the guy behind might get more irritated, after this bit of needle going on. So very interesting. I think the start is very important. Yeah. But
I wouldn't even see it. Well, I know Ronnie's fist bumping everybody, but even with the handshake is there.
Yeah.
I always, with those matches, I'm always I want to see the start and the end. Yeah. What's the handshake? What's the needle?
Plus, you got to remember they're going to be sitting right beside each other.
Yeah.
So there's no hiding place out there. So that'd be even interesting to watch in between frames how they're kind of.
And you said as well, even with the. Because remember he had the big grudge with Hendry before, but again they were opposite sides. Yeah. But like with Carter, again so close, they're gonna go so close to each other.
Yeah. You never know. We might need boxing gloves on it at some stage. But no, I can't wait to watch it. And listen.
Okay. Who's going to win though?
It's hard to go against Ronnie. To be fair, I personally think who gets off to the best start will win it, and I think it's going to be Ronnie.
I think Ronnie as well. The winner of that Alan Bingham game would play the winner of Jack Jones and Neil Robertson. Of course, Jack Jones had a great win against Ali Carter. Up against Neil Robertson, Mike took the title. Again, Neil started off so well, scored so heavy, the 2 1-4-6s. I think Jack, as I said before, I think Jack next season he's improving all the time. Based in Sheffield, practicing all those good players, generally the Chinese lads, day in day out. He's a much heavier scorer than what he was. I think next year could be like a breakout year for him. Yeah. However, I just don't see past Neil winning, and maybe winning comfortably like a 13-7, 13-8.
Yeah, listen, it's going to be a monumental feat for Jack to beat Neil. You know, his first time at the Crucible. Is this his first time at the Crucible, Jack?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sure. Yeah, he's a fabulous player, Jack. I've seen him, a lot of tournaments through the last couple of years playing, and he's solid as a rock. You know, as you said, he's scoring a lot better now than he used to. That's a phenomenal achievement to do what he's done. Not only to get to the Crucible for the first time, but to beat Ali Carter
the
first time there. That shows what a top player he is and he's going to be. But no, this is just too much for him to play. Neil Robertson, who's come here. You know, as you said, your tip for the tournament, he's one of the top 4 to win this tournament in my eyes. He's just proved how well he's playing. I don't know if it's true, he's kind of set up his practice facilities to kind of be similar to the Crucible. Did you hear that? Is that true?
No, I didn't hear that. I know he did a couple of years ago, whatever in his practice room, for argument's sake, here around the table, he brought in chairs closer. So it was, because you know yourself playing the Crucible, that if we were standing here, you can actually shake hands with somebody. Yeah, I had the same.
I'm kind of similar to Neil in that I like to walk into the shop as well. The first time I got to the Crucible, I was walking back into the
hoarding.
The hoard, the camera. I remember walking back into the camera. I was all over the place, so I know where he's coming from, you know. So that's why I heard he kind of, tried to,
well, as he said,
do something similar, so which is a good idea. And then he's practicing in the evenings as well.
Yeah, that's good. He set himself like no stone unturned. So he's doing it like you would in those matches. He's gone in the morning, having a couple of hours, coming back at evening. So it's very. Now he said the first couple of days were tricky enough, but again the first couple of days are tricky in the World Championship. But if he's built up that stamina, you'd be surprised. If you did that for a week, you'd be surprised by the end of the week that it's now the new norm and you're well able. That could be a big asset for him.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, he's won it before, and now he's even a better player now than when he did win it. There's no doubt that Neil will and should win the World Championships again. The only issue with Neil is it just seems to be a recurrent thing every year that he's comes in, starts off playing unbelievable like he did again his first match and even the second game, and then he hits a brick wall for some reason. I don't know whether it is. For me, Neil's a very fit person anyway. I don't think it's a stamina thing. I don't know whether it's a mental thing. But to go the other flip side of that, the other years he's been coming in after winning tournaments and all. This year he is fresh because he hasn't. It's like his focus has been on this tournament all year. And he's done the whole year has been to get here to win this. So listen, he's a lovely guy. I hope it works out for him. He's one of them ones I wouldn't mind seeing winning it. Well capable. But I just have that little worry about him. For me, he's probably going to come up against Mark Allen in the quarters, and that whoever wins that match is going to be hard to beat in the rest of the tournament. But for me, as I said, I fancy Allen to get to the semis to play Selby. But yeah, listen, for me, this match, Robertson is Stonewall cert. But I mean, fair play to Jack. I hope he puts up a good performance, which I'm sure he will. Yeah. But I think Neil will win 13-5, 13-6.
That's why I really tipped Neil Robertson this year, was because of it being so quiet. Now, generally over the years, he doesn't tend to play as many tournaments as the top players. He does miss a tournament or two, and generally, if he kind of tries to pinpoint a tournament and peak for it, a lot of the time he ends up winning it. I just thought this would suit him. From what he is saying, it sounds the case. But again, I just thought with Neil over the years, he's either come in as red hot favourite, which has brought pressure, or and he started again. He's absolutely flying. I remember a few years ago he beat Sean, and Sean was like, we're just giving the trophy now. But it was only the quarters.
Yeah.
But I sometimes think with Neil, the best way to if I was in Neil's corner, the advice I'd give to him is stop talking. I just felt over the years he's been talking about why he's going to win it,
Right.
as in because he's practicing hard.
Okay.
He's changed some setup. He's put 300 long balls in a row, as opposed to maybe
Nearly putting pressure on himself.
how am I going to win it? That maybe because he's come in as favourite or he's been flying, he's actually just got ahead of himself, and as a result, not quite taking his eye off the ball. But again, if he has if he's playing a top player, John Higgins or Ronnie, and he's a bad session, he's fine.
Yeah, he seems that's what's let him down the last few years. As I said, absolutely flying, and then all of a sudden something goes wrong. Usually,
or he maybe or something slightly went wrong, and he hasn't been able to deal with it.
Exactly.
He hasn't been able to roll with the punches.
That's my worry for him, because it seems like Groundhog Day every year.
Exactly.
So he needs. I think this is a very important year for him because he seems to try to counteract all that happening, and as I said, he's coming in fresher. So he hasn't got that excuse of being, he's won too much this year, which he hasn't.
Yeah,
so he's fresh, he's done. So he's no real excuse this year, and I hope in one way that doesn't put more pressure on him also. But the way he started, if he can keep playing like that, he's going to be so hard to beat. But as we've seen before, he always, it's when he hits that bit of a brick wall when things go wrong, he needs to get out of that session, and then go again. So it's fascinating to see how he goes. And as I said, he's a great guy, he's a great player. I'd be amazed if he doesn't win it again, but whether he needs to prove himself again to me.
And again, I suppose there's potential, for, as you said, Groundhog Day, that with this Jones, we've both fancied to win maybe stronger, that he could score very heavy, and again look $1 million, which is getting to the quarters, which is a way. It's an amazing statistic that not only has he not won it, he hasn't even made a final, and he's only had one semi since then. For such a good player.
Yeah, incredible.
So if his career ended today, as brilliant as being, you'd say he's underachieved, but also, as you said about this year, all his eggs in one basket. If he doesn't win the tournament, and certainly if he didn't make the final, well, his season's been a disaster, because normally he wins at least 1, 2, 3. Like every year he wins a tournament, so that brings his own pressure, but maybe that's just focused the mind. And so if things aren't perfect, he'll get past that and just literally title or not even.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say an extra level of steel, because obviously he's mentally strong, but he just felt before he was a little bit too perfectionist, and if the slightest thing went wrong, he couldn't deal with it.
Listen, as we know, to win a world championship nowadays with the players around, it's just, Sean Murphy hasn't won it in, 18 years?
Yeah, 05.
How good is Sean Murphy?
You'd argue at least he's got 3 world finals in comparison to Neil.
Yeah, true.
But still hasn't won it.
Just to be fair to all these guys, they're all amazing, brilliant players, but that's their problem. The rest of the guys all around them are amazing, brilliant players, so it's like taking turns to win one, and it's just, you just got to hope everything gets aligned this year and it goes your way, and that's what Neil is hoping for. He's doing his best to make that happen, and it could very well do. He's an amazing player, as we said, but it's fascinating to see how he goes this year, really.
No, and you can't fault his preparation at all.
No.
And we certainly, I think he's going to win the tournament. So on that basis, I definitely think he's going to beat Jack Jones. I'm sure all snooker fans are looking to this match today. Tomorrow, myself and Michael will be discussing 2 of the last 16 matches that start. See you then. Thank you.